Good morning, everybody. It's Emily here from Phoenix Gateway, and I'm here to do your general weekly read for February 1st to the 7th, and I'm working with my Sacred Geometry Healing cards. I felt like I needed to be outside today to do this reading, and so you'll just have to mind my dogs. They may bark as well, just because they like to go and bark at the fence. So already this sitting with the energy for this week, the words that came to me is there's no such thing as coincidence, and this is absolutely true. Everything happens for a reason. You know, the people that cross your path in your lifetime, the relationships you form in your lifetime, your businesses, your thought processes, where you live, who you befriend, the animals that you have, and even down to the traumatic experiences that occur in your life. And I feel like I need to talk about this because it's really affected me this morning, and it's just really interesting then as they've come up and they've, the words "there's no such thing as coincidence" came through. Is my one of my children is doing an apprenticeship at the moment, and they were on their building site and they heard screaming, and it ended up being that they saw somebody had caught on fire. And being the brave young men that they are, my son, his work colleague, and I believe there was a couple other of them there, went to the rescue of this man. And oh my God, it was an eye-opener for him on so many levels to actually even see the amount of people who were more interested in videoing the incident rather than actually helping, when all they asked for was water. They had to put the fire out. It's actually really affected me, and I wasn't even there, but I feel into it, and I feeling, my heart goes out to my son and his work colleague in particular, and apparently the lady that was on the phone to the ambulance at the time. The reason I feel I need to bring this up, because the words "there is no such thing as coincidence" have rung so true, and you do not wish that kind of trauma on anyone, neither from the burning to to the person coming and assisting the person who is going through this, who was suffering at that point in time, being on fire. It's such a tragedy. Is that everything happens for a reason, and I've always maintained that for every crisis there is a gift, and I understand trauma firsthand, but not to what my son experienced today. But it makes you wonder, in time, what this then triggers, for him on his journey of life. Like, this was a part of his journey. It was part of his path. And to be able to, be a part of it firsthand, to be, all I could say to him was, I can't imagine what you went through, but, I'm so proud of him for being one of those people that actually went to the aid of this gentleman who, more than likely may not survive the third degree burns that he suffered. Anyway, to why these happen, we don't always know, and it sometimes doesn't hit us till later on, to that which we go through in our lifetimes, to what we experience. But even though, it wasn't me there, I wasn't in the forefront, the thick of it all, it still affects me. So it still ricochets on, and it makes me sit and think. It makes me take that deep dive into myself, to introspect, to wonder, what is this teaching me? How does it make me feel? What is it that I need to do, for my son, or for those involved in the situation, or I don't know. But the other aspects that come in is that, at this point, it's very important that we go through that introspection, that we sit with what we have seen, what we heard, what we know. You know, take that time to be around your family. Allow your family, your friends, your loved ones to support you. That is just so, so important in this time. And to, you know, it may sound weird saying this, but it's so important at the same time to trust in the magic, because even though it doesn't seem magical by any means, it's what is out there. What is the catalyst for? Because it is part of our growth, whether we like to know it or not. It is a big part of our growth. And I honor my son. I honor his work colleague and those that actually, you know, were in just there to be able to help this gentleman. So I already had a couple of cards fall out, and you know, like the love frequency is on the bottom. This is part of your introspection. It's part of going diving deep. And there's sixes that are coming up everywhere for me today. Like I just feel that energy of love, that six energy to be working with. But the first card is intuition and wisdom. What these tragedies do, what these crises do for us, is they actually create a shift in consciousness. And what it means is that we start to open up on a higher level. We start to engage at higher frequencies. We start to tap into some of the unknown. And for some, you know, this is their awakening. For others, they've already awakened, but it's like this push. It may end up taking my son and his colleague into a dark night of the soul, because now, you know, it's something that they need to be able to work through. They need to deal with what they have seen and the actions that were taken. And this is about being in touch, awakening that inner intuition, that inner wisdom. It's about finding the balance in our life, you know, because and I think this is really important to say, because of this sort of circumstance, and there are plenty of people who have been through similar, really traumatic experiences. It is not saying, you know, now it's important to go and we have to try and get this out of our mind by just taking medication or you know, trying to block it, to band-aid it. We actually need to work with it. This is important. This information has been given to us for a reason, okay? I'm going to take love frequency and I'm going to put it here, because it really is about that connection. It is about the introspection that we are going through. Can I please, I think you have a few more cards. It's about building on our foundations. This is what it's doing. This is by going through this circumstance, this trauma, it is starting to prepare us for that next part of our lives. And you know, it may be that it will get us in touch with the inner child aspect. It may trigger memories of our inner child for what we have gone through, other tragedies. So be very mindful of that. But at the same time, I want to say, look at it in the other aspect, is it's really important that, you know, you get in touch with the inner child and find the playful aspect of self, to be able to nurture yourself, to do those things that will just help you to heal what has been going on for you. It is really important at this time to take care of your body, your mind, body, and spirit. This is the time, you know, to be mindful of what you're ingesting, to be, you know, don't hit the bottle, don't go to prescription drugs. Look at what you're doing. Maybe it's time to, you know, be around people that you love and work with your intuition and get the counseling that you may need, okay? One last card just to finish off this reading, please, and thank you. Okay. It's about the I am. It's about coming to that state of true state of being. This is your time to shine. This is your time now to be able to balance yourself, balance your life, and just work on you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week wherever you are, and speak with you soon.